right, this is my pot, and I'm happy with it. You guys may think, nah, not so good, but you don't have to copy me. You don't have to. But personally, where's my middle bit? It's around here, isn't it? So, oh dear Lord, I can't draw for shit, can I? I'm going to have a teeny weeny slither, and this is the gamble pot. Gamble slice, let's just call it. This is the gaming slice. And that's merely because I think gaming's going to do well, but I don't know much about gaming. And then the remaining pot, so for me personally, I'm looking like 1 to 2% in the gaming slice. And historically, since 2016, I've had many times where I've had 1 or 2% in the gaming slice, and then one of those projects hits jackpot, and then all of a sudden that 1 to 2% becomes 10 to 30% of the pot, and it's been ridiculous. I remember getting in at Tron at 2 cents and going to 30 cents, then Cardano at 2 cents, and then Cardano going nuts, and Neo and there's so many plays. So in that gamble slice, you could go, right, yeah, let's say 2% of the pot, and I'm going to spread it across maybe 6 different assets. Six wild punts. So a wild punt, in my opinion, is anything sort of 1 million to 50 million, or no, hell, yeah, 1 to $100 million market cap. In my opinion, that's a punt. And I know a lot of people are dicking around much smaller stuff, but yeah, everyone's different. And then I've got about 10% of the pot in gaming, and that's spread over 3. I've got 3. You could have more, but I think I'm happy with the 3 that I've chosen. And then whatever's left, 50-50 into KAS and TAO. Now this sounds crazy, but not crazy, but you're probably a bit shocked by this. I'm actually more bullish on TAO than I am Casper. Shock horror. So if you guys are also in the same position, and you wanted to edit that, and made it more slightly like this, where actually you can have 50% of the pot in TAO, and then the other, whatever, let's say the rest is 35% Casper or whatever, or 37% in Casper. That's personally what I'm doing. And that's based on my goals, my objectives, what I want to do over the next 5-10 years, and based on where I am right now. However, in the past, I haven't had a conservative pot like this. So, for example, in the past when I've been around sort of the Alpha Bravo cohort, the pot may have looked completely different. So the pot would have been, if I get rid of all of that, the pot may have been more like gamble, what else would I have done? Cash flowers. I've always been obsessed with cash flow in crypto. And then I would normally have, 1 or 2 high conviction plays. And I guess the key difference here is I've just allocated a higher percentage pot to the gamble pot. So, for example, if I was to look at the market right now and go, okay, what would you consider a gamble play, Siam? Well, okay, come on, silly, what is going on here? Can't get up trading view. There we go. So, I guess one thing which I'm tempted to get in is Cubic. I've been doing a lot of research into Cubic. It's a bit of a mess at the moment, but it's a project that 10 years in the making. I haven't bought any, simply because, it's just based, really, you can only buy it on Safe Trade. and look at the depth, and is absolutely pitiful. And the website's a bag of balls. And I put out a post on this. The website is it seems like the website is completely different to what the project actually is. So every time you get to Cubic, I'm looking at this going, mining services, wallet services, like what the hell is this? When you read the actual documents, it's got nothing to do with it. So I think this is just an overlooked part where they've just, this is actually a proof of useful work AI project. This is actually what it is. And when you look at it's got no white paper yet, but when I've looked through this, it is, this is more, it's more like, more like BitTensor than anything, realistically. But it's such a teeny market cap. The tokenomics is really hard to get any real clarification over. I think it's got, 1 quadrillion market cap, supply, and then it's nuts. Now the only reason I'm considering this is the founder of Cubic is an absolute crypto beast. He's one of the founders of IOTA. He's the founder of NXT, which is I think one of the oldest crypto projects in existence. All of his ICOs have done very well. So on Twitter he's called Come from Beyond. Is it Beyond? Yeah, this guy. I forget, it's like a Russian name. I forgot his name. But if you look into him, his background is mind-boggling. And so the way I'm looking at this, and by the way, I haven't bought any. The way I'm looking at this is, if you were to go back a couple of years and stumble across Jonathan Sompolinsky, and then looked at Jonathan's past and gone, holy shit, Jonathan's been around forever. Loads of projects have used his Ghost protocol from Ethereum, Cardano, AVAX. Like Jonathan, if I came across Jonathan Sompolinsky 3 years ago, or even 2 years ago, and looked at his past, I would have gone, maybe I should just put money in whatever he builds. Because ultimately, at the end of the day, success leaves clues, and successful founders tend to also continue setting up successful entities, whatever it may happen. And if you put 1% of your pot in Jonathan's project at Casper 2 years ago, where it was, you could look at Casper and go, wait, this is rubbish, it's got nothing, it's a baby, it doesn't even have a white paper, yada yada yada. I guess Casper 2 years ago is in a very similar situation to where Cubic is right now. And ultimately you're just betting on the founder. Now Casper is a completely different beast. So for me, if I end up putting money in Cubic, it's only because I'm betting on this guy. That's it. And by the way, that's what VCs do. VCs ultimately don't really care about the business that they're investing in. Yes, they want to see basic metrics hit. Like they want to, invest money into a business in a booming market, like the AI sector or whatever. But ultimately, all they're gauging up is the founder. That's it. And a VC would much rather put money behind a founder that's got 5 failed projects, but is ambitious, works hard, and has high integrity, than a newbie that's never set up a business ever. So he's done well. Cubic, I guess, would be my example of a punt. That's just one example. I'm not going to spend the rest of this session on what I think is a punt. So I guess it's up to you how you thread the needle, really. Personally, as I said before, I'm gonna put 1 or 2% into a gamble pot, 10% in gaming, just leave that alone, and then the rest in KAS and BitTensor. Because I have to stress again, and I think I've said this several trading pubs now, the AI sector in crypto is an absolute shambles. It's position 27 in terms of total market cap, and AI is the biggest growing business sector in the real world right now. So the AI sector has to, in my opinion, get to at least the top 5, hell, top 3. And when you look at the top 5, or ignore stable coins, just take the next one. So if you look at percentage base, so 81.5 billion divided by total market cap of 1758 billion times 100, 4.63%. So, you know, even if AI only got to say position 5 of total crypto, in fact, I can't know, that would be unfair to dismiss to stablecoins, because stablecoins make up that one. No, actually, yeah. So actually, it's 130, call it 132 billion divided by 1758 billion times 100. Yeah, it's more like it. So if AI got to at least the top 5, you're looking at 7.5% of the total crypto market cap. 7.5%, folks. And then you just got to get back down to, you know, total crypto market cap, realistic numbers, all that sort of stuff that I'm always looking at. And, you know, I think let's take a low estimate, not necessarily the lowest, but let's say 6.4 trillion. So 6.4 trillion times 0.07% of that, you're looking at what, $448 billion. No, that's not right. I'm gonna have to wait. So let's just do 6.4 trillion. Let's just get that up. 60. Wait. Is that 6.4 trillion? What's 7% of that, or 7.5% of that? That gives us, yeah, 480 billion. Sorry. So then you're asking yourself, well, what percentage of BitTensor is that going to be? Like at the moment, BitTensor is like most of it. If we go to, was it 27? Oh, where has it gone? It's gone down. AI has actually gone down in market cap since we last spoke. So it's 9. BitTensor is actually it's not that high in percentage, but let's just, I mean, hell, just say BitTensor is at 10% of that. You're still looking at $48 billion BitTensor, which is just ridiculous. So 48 billion, divide that by the market cap we're in right now, which is 1776532,358. That's a 27x from where we are now. I mean, that's just ridiculous. 306 times 27. Like, you know, every time I do these numbers, I'm pessimistically coming up with north of $8,000 BitTensor. And I do the same calculations for Casper and all that sort of shizzle, and it's, yeah, it's absolutely insane. We're looking at a 27x. So going back to my little PowerPoint here, when I'm coming up with these numbers going, hey, you guys are most likely going to be 20xing your stuff. Well, yeah, at least. Because I'm being very pessimistic here. So, and yes, this video could come back and bite me in the arse in the future, and people go, look at you, you wildly overestimated this. But, you know, as of the 28th of December 2023, based on everything we've gone up through over the last bunch of years, at the moment, this is how I genuinely think. So treat it as that. I'm not trying to mislead anyone. This is just me using very pessimistic estimations here. And I'm being, yeah, and I feel weird saying this, I'm being pessimistic with a 20xing of your pot over the next 2 years. Pessimistic. So in previous cycles, I've 50 to 100x pots in the past. So yeah, anyway.